So today, I want to do a practice together because, as I stated in my previous video, update to my channel, I'm returning to the more informative or written information, written data, written records. That's what I want to share. So that's why I feel called to share. That's kind of how I started, and now I'm been not sure if I should go to my original first of the set. I had been working with the sixth of the books, the journals, diaries, records, whatever, scribing my way. So now I want to do a practice day. So I'm going to do a song and a dance. Just sing and dance the whole time. It's an 8-minute song. And then we'll do a little art together. All right, here we go. Okay, Google, play the music. And just move around in your space. Trust that this is worth it.
Music on Spotify. Here you go.
מקור חיים ביאורך נראה אור ביאורך נראה אור ביאורך נראה אור ביאורך נראה אור ביאורך נראה אור. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. In your light we see light. In your light do we see light. In your light do we see light. In your light do we see light. In your light we see light. כי ממך מקור חיים, כי ממך מקור חיים, כי ממך מקור חיים, ביאורך נראה אור, ביאורך נראה אור. ביאורך נראה אור, ביאורך נראה אור, ביאורך נראה אור. Wish to be where you want to be. Wish to be where you want to be. Wish to be where you want to be. Wish to be where you are. Wish to be where you are right now. Wish to be where you are right now. Wish to be where you are right now. Wish to be where you are. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. In your light we see light. In your light do we see light.
light, in your light do we see light. In your light do we see light. In your light we see light. Wish to be who you want to be. Wish to be who you want to be. Wish to be who you want to be. Wish to be who you are. Wish to be who you are right now. Wish to be who you are right now. Wish to be who you are right now. Wish to be who you are. Ki mecha mekor chayim. Ki mecha mekor chayim. Ki mecha mekor chayim. Biorcha nirei or. Biorcha nirei or. Biorcha nirei or. Biorcha nirei or.
Okay, Google, pause the music. Now, in order to integrate, I'm going to bring you. Okay, Google, stop the music. To do some art with me. This might be one of our last times that we do art together. Here we go. So, just for a few minutes. And we're going to do a little writing. So without really thinking about it, remembering that we just danced and sang, like, didn't have to look a certain way. And we're doing this because the act of making art doesn't have to be about the outcome. We're learning to live a lifestyle where we're not so attached to something specific so that we can actually live. When we can actually live is we're not in control. Anything can happen, and that's sort of what some people are chasing with drugs, with adrenaline, with traumatic sort of reinforcing relationships that have highs and lows. I mean, most of us are really looking for something to touch us, to get us alive, but when we also want to be in control, we don't want anything to touch us that might be scary for us, and that we can't stop it as soon as it's done. So maybe just recognizing that we're not in control is sometimes the medicine, even if it's scary because things happen. But I mean, we're here. If you're watching this with me now, you're here. You made it. And we can let go of our grudges now. That's sort of one of the benefits of art, is that we arrive in the present moment without the unfinished business. And anything that comes up now, that's a reason, like maybe that we shouldn't make art or we don't have time, that's exactly where we can start to find some of our healing. And in order to do that, we have to not be attached to the outcome. Again, that's exactly where our healing will come from. When I say healing, I mean our closure. Our closure that we can relax. We don't have to do anything for things to be okay. The way the moon is somewhat suspended over the earth without being held in place by a human. And we can't see its legs, kind of. But then at the same time, if we look at sort of the human feet, we have legs, we have feet. I mean, we look at the earth, it looks like we're standing on something solid, but the earth is standing in the air. It's suspended. It is suspended. And so can we feel both grounded and suspended at the same time? We are not holding the earth in place, and it's not that when we think of it, it's held there. And even if we imagine the earth falling out of place, it doesn't have an impact on whether the earth is in place. Allowing that kind of thinking to permeate as we make art. And that's what inner child work is really all about. Something like art is natural for children because they do have a sense that everything will be held in place even if they're not the one doing it. And again, while most of us would like that, we're also afraid of losing control. Something bad could happen. We have a lot of responsibilities. Don't we end up having so many parts of ourselves over time? Like, I feel like a lot of work just to be okay, just to feel whole, like in terms of body, mind, heart, everything. So it's almost like by giving up the handle is how we kind of get a handle. By giving up control is how we stop spiraling out of control. For me and for you, it could be something different. Like I could say I have to give up control over a person that I worry about, that I care about. They make their choices. I have to live with it the same way I have to live with the choices I made versus expecting anyone else to take responsibility for my choices. So the healing is often if we can bring these principles to something specific in our recovery. So you might say you want to recover some level of yourself by letting go of maybe a food or a place, and you're not in control. And or maybe it is other people. Maybe it's even children. If you have children, that can be a hard one for a lot of people that, that you cannot actually control your kids. You could scare them. You could try to control them and you might be successful at it. But as soon as they're free, they may not listen to you anymore. You may get into their head, cause them tremendous damage where they can hear you controlling them. But eventually they will hurt enough people that they'll have to face that they're become controllers. So by teaching control, we're not really even, that pattern can't live. It needs constantly something else to control. So by giving up control, even of children, you actually have more control. And your ability not to give in to wanting to control them, they become controlled by you, controlled by your subtle pleasure and displeasure with them, and they genuinely respect you. They respect your bravery and your trust of the truth. That can be felt by any age. We all know that. Just have to look back to our own lives, obviously. And now the question really is, where can we control ourselves so that that energy is used properly? Now, for me, it's when I'm most triggered and the situation has escalated to louder voices or aggressive words. I'm learning how to control myself from wanting to fight back and defend and actually just walk away and not try to control the person who's out of control. That's kind of what I'm saying. So you might want to announce out loud what you're working on right now at this time. After we dance, we sing, we're making art, trusting the creative process working through us. Something worth leaning into, you know? These are lifelong patterns. You can access them right now. And then we sort of have something to bond with. Whatever is the controller, we can sort of give in to the controller. We can like rebel against the controller. But we now have something to bond with, whether it's negative bonding, positive bonding. Finishing up another couple, like a moment or 2 moments. I just like to give the heads up in case you're really involved. There's always more times to make art, and obviously you don't need me. Like, I have a lot of previous videos with art making, and obviously also you can always do it on your own. That's my goal. My goal is everyone makes their own art for their own self. We're going on just a little bit longer than I expected. I'm just finishing up my art. In other words, I'm using up all the colors that I had, all the paint that I had for myself, and like finding places on the papers where it can be a good addition and not just like adding paint for no reason. Now I need a little tiny bit more for one thing. Because black, I thought I wasn't gonna need so much black. Tiny bit more black. Be directly on it. Basically, I'm painting on a little bit of fluff. So, at times, I don't know exactly how much paint I'm gonna need, like more or less, you know? There we go. I got it in its total shape, and I love it. think I need to put some directly on the fabric again. There we go. Perfect. All right, and finally, we're going to do some writing. I thought let's do all our practices. You know, let me move my arts. These are how they're coming out. Really awesome, cool color schemes. I think they're basically complete today. The last final. Oh, did I speak too soon? No. It stayed awesome. Okay, so now So creative writing is just giving a little intro. So get your writing materials out. And creative writing is very popular because it helps for health and well-being. And also it can help us to explore meanings. So for example, this is a poem that somebody wrote called, his name was Richard. He was a young man with AIDS. An art therapist said, this is his poem. He looked at a because of his illness, he had some issues. He used collage or writing. So this is what he did with a picture of a toy soldier holding binoculars. He said, what am I looking at? Who do I see? A helmet on my head, fatigues to each knee. Belts of ammunition adorn my military gear. Camouflage and olive drab could be in this year, a funny garb of armor. Beetle, Bailey, and Sarge, characters from comic books, I'll take an extra large. A stealthful watch, a reconnaissance I make through inquisitive eyes, while insects forage below me, bluebirds tango across the skies. Something in the distance, binoculars aid my sight. Does life exist on planet Mars? Is there a reason for cellulite? My intellect asks many questions, nagging headaches do ensue, but aspirin are not needed, only this shaman's old voodoo. Listening with intensity, a child's laughter does resound. Sorry, I wanted to see how long the poem was. Listening with intensity, a child's laughter does resound. A familiar voice once silenced now calls from lost and found. I raise my hands with confidence to greet the vast unknown. Thoughts of Spielberg and E.T. and me without a phone. No apparent boundaries, many paths are undefined. My inner guide's entrusted scout. Seek and ye shall find. Stars spiral in a celestial oasis, like munchkins in the land of Oz. The transcendence of spirit through the color of light leads us onward in reverent cause. My battle scars are many, over lifetime expansive and deep. Angelic choirs sing sweet lullabies. Mr. Sandman brings enchanted sleep. Music soothes the savage beast, but what of a lonely heart? Tell me what you're dreaming of. My soulful counterpart, I imagine your touch in heaven, your love fills me up so. Caressed by a meadow of poppies and plumes of indigo, the wisdom of the ages. Cascading sands in an hourglass, fleeting moments and precious memories I recall while lying in the grass. A destiny awakens the blessed miracle of birth. Death is a wondrous beginning. Now, Voyager, save passage from Earth. So we don't need to be talented poets, and he's obviously gifted, but, you know, there's eclectic or integrative approach is often called like possibly intermodal, or where you get to you synthesize and combine the most appropriate, best possible therapeutic and I'm just writing that synthesis down. I like that idea. Carl Jung, for example, saw the potential, and this is from the book, the Art Therapy Source Book by Kathy Malchiori. I'm about to finish it. That's what I was looking for. So Freud spent several weeks studying Michelangelo's statue of Moses. Carl Jung saw a potential from the art to express symbols from the unconscious. And we can interpret as much as we want, but there's also like the basic stuff, like house, tree, person. That's a projective drawing task where we get to project. And in the simple or in the order, we can project meaning and intention. And there's also like administering and utilizing these like containers for expression, really. Often are mandalas. It's a circle and people do inside of it. And when we're working on our own with our writing and things, we want to think about what feeling does the image, the art, the writing communicate. If it could talk, what would it say? We can amplify part of it, and we can explore images inside of images. And, we can always go further with different resources, like giving voice to the silent, or giving a stage to the hidden. Hope you're writing whatever you want. I'm trying to give like some inspiration from this book. And a master's degree, for example, in being an art therapist, could be like someone who identifies with being a counselor. So you could say therapy, counseling, so mastering the degrees, right, in a way, slash, license, like what that means. Could be in any field, really. So we got to look at it like that too. Like we have someone we can trust to go into this stuff. And then, of course, like certification or requirements, credentials. There's resources. And so really, like, now I wrote a few buzzwords on my paper like that, and now we're gonna write, and we're gonna just let this be like a exploration, whatever comes up. If you've already started writing, great, write as much as you want. Anyway, hope that was a good practice, and thank you for joining me. Bye.